Teenagers can be fun to live with and sometimes equally exasperating. Mrs. Rita's stepson, Ken, a brooding young man of 14 years, is sweet and loving and one she cares so much for because he had both been a source of joy and a much needed helping hand for the past 3 years that she had been married to his father, but unable to mother a child for him.
Always have to watch separately.
Though there's no doubt that Ken is a good boy, he is however a victim of the pervasive disease of moral decadence that has plagued the 21st century through unprecedented and unrestricted advancement of technology and social media sites. Rita was unaware of her stepson's flair for pornography until just this past week when she by happenstance stumbled upon a couple of disturbing salacious pictures on his phone while he was away at the convenience.
Ken, your phone is ringing. Ken, your phone is ringing. What is this?
She was shocked about this discovery, but pretended not to be privy to such information when he came in to get it. She did notice his guarded and suspicious demeanor though.
Yes, your phone was ringing before.
Can I help you?
No, true.
She contemplates how to disclose this unfortunate discovery to his overprotective father, who more often than not pampers Ken and shabbily reprimand him.
What do you think?
Why won't
Come on. Just remember something. You know, your mom told me you broke a very expensive dress.
It was a mistake. I was supposed to
Never mind. It's just a stupid verse. Come on, let's continue. Catch.
While wondering how best to tackle the issue, Ken's addiction was getting worse by the day.
Ken, what are you doing here?
Nothing. I just want to try.
Just be... Oh my God. This is getting serious. I need to talk to my husband about this.
She took the liberty of checking out his phone another day to confirm the extent of this moral decay. Rita was rendered speechless by the huge volume and range of X-rated pictures and videos she found on Ken's phone. Her initial concerns skyrocketed. Without needing a soothsayer, she knew it is obviously a serious case of sexual addiction.
Oh my God, is he still into this? Oh no, this is not good. This is becoming an addiction. I have to see my husband.
She did involve his father, considering how sensitive the issue at hand is, but he trivialized it because it involved his loving son that he hardly reprimanded. Mr. Vincent cowed away from the responsibility and pushed the plate back to her.
Tell me, what's normal about this? What's normal about this? What is normal about it?
Come on. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. I'll talk to him, don't worry, okay?
Ken slept over this. I don't understand. Why is it that everything that concerns Ken, you always take it casual? Why?
Casual?
Yeah.
Now I'm casual. I said you shouldn't worry about it, now I'm casual. Look, I'm going to bed. I have businesses to attend to. And if you feel like, you know, if it's bothering you this much, why don't you talk to him? He's also your son. I'm going to bed.
It is well, though. Maybe it's only back.
All her bosom friend Bimpe could render as a way of advice was for Rita to be tactical about the issue, as if the word tactical will magically solve the problem.
That your marriage is also important to you. Don't allow this issue to cause a rift between you and your husband. You don't understand. I know that my marriage is very, very important to me.
Who do you know?
But the boy is also important to me as well. Okay, if he were to be my own biological child, I wouldn't want him to grow up to be a cis addict.
You are right anyway. But you have to be careful with your approach towards him. Just be tactical.
Huh. Tactical?
Yes, so you have to be tactical. But I pray God give you the wisdom to handle this issue.
Man.
That aside, have you heard about Jean recently?
Wow.
She's no longer in the country. She has traveled
Wow,
out of the country.
really?
Like, seriously.
At this point, Rita is seeking all the profitable advice she can get.
Hello there, welcome to another exciting episode of Decisions. My name is Rachel Biogene and I'm your host. The average age of sex exposure to pornography for boys within the ages of 8 to 16 years is 90%, and a whopping 80% of boys between the ages of 15 to 17 years have viewed hardcore porn at least once. Pornography is here to stay, guys. It's right in our front. It's not what we say, oh, it's happening over there, not here. It's right in every home. Like, people, researchers say it's no more a matter of if pornography would happen, what we do. It's now a matter of when pornography happens, what do we do? Today our topic is adolescent syndrome, and we'll be looking at a young boy, a 14-year-old who was caught up with porn, and his stepmom who didn't know what to do about it. I won't be alone. I have two seasoned guests with me. And here left is the beautiful looking Mrs. Elo Egunyenga. She's the convener of Let's Talk About Sex, which happens annually, and she's also the convener of Teenagers Engaging in Leadership and Learning, TEL, which happens once every month. Welcome, ma.
Thank you.
Oh, did I add that she's also a lecturer at School of Nursing, Warri?
Thank you, Rachel.
How did you combine all of this together?
Thank God.
And she's married with four children. How did you do all of this together? And still come out looking beautiful.
Everything is planning and the grace of God working.
Well, we thank God for planning and we thank God for His grace.
Thank you.
Also with me is someone I respect so much. He's becoming my friend, but we're getting there. He's Reverend Victor Ekpe, and he's the senior pastor of Church God Mission International Dominion Palace, Efron, Delta State. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
It's good to see you looking good.
Thank you so much. You too.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Okay, shut up to what we're talking about today. You know, the church has become reactive more than proactive today. You know, they are doing things of after it has happened. So what can we do as a church and as parents to be proactive to make sure porn doesn't even happen, Mrs. Elo?
I think as a church, we'll leave that to Pastor Victor to
Talk
answer.
about it.
Then,
So,
as a parent, a lot have to be done. Because, like what you rightly said, it's not if it will happen, it is when it will happen. Because majority of the time, teenagers, young adults out there, they didn't start by just let me carry the phone and start searching for porn. It could be that I want to solve a mathematics problem, I want to research for a particular assignment given to me in school, and you are searching for something else, and porn just pop up.
Right there.
And definitely those images, they are
Compelling.
very compelling, very appealing, that you want to like, wow, what is this? So that is the first instant that it will happen, and once it happens, that you see it, if it continues again and again and again, then it becomes an addictive habit. So the major thing that I think parents can actually do right from when the children are small, because what we are seeing in this part of the world is a child must be old and big and want to go to the university now before you not start sitting down and be giving lectures. It's already too late then. You
So at
don't
what
think-
age?
So I
At what
believe
age
as early as possible from age 3, giving the child sex education, age appropriate information about their sexuality
Age appropriate.
we help a lot. That is one. Then secondly again, we should be aware as parents. Most parents are not aware. I'm sorry to say mothers are not trying, because if we look at the average African home, the fathers are always out. The mothers spend most of the time with their kids at home, but because of this search for money, identity, and must meet up with what is happening in my world today, the children are left neglected. So what I'm trying to say is this: they should be aware. Aware of the kind of friends that come to meet the children, aware of what they are communicating, aware of even if they are going into the internet to do anything, be aware of what they are doing part-time.
Okay.
Even the movies they are watching, even the TV channels that they're watching, be aware, because even right now, porn has entered, is now integrated into everything. Advert, you see movies,
Even some cartoons.
even some cartoons for children.
Yeah.
So it has been infiltrated into everything. So you should be aware of what they are doing part-time. Don't say it is none of my business.
Okay. So from the church angle, what do you think the church can do to be more proactive?
Well, what the church can do to be more proactive, the question is not if porn will happen or when porn will happen. I think the
Definitely
question
happen.
is about
When will it happen?
the question is about when a child sees that particular. Is that what we're trying to say? Or your question now is what do we
can
do?
we
What
do
can
to
the church
avoid
do
it?
to avoid
Yes,
the children
getting
from
to-
seeing
Yes.
what they are not supposed to
Yes.
see? It's a difficult one. But just for starters, really, really, really basic things. For starters, my wife and I, we've talked about it. I see a lot of my friends, their children already have access to internet. It's a no-no for me. It's a no-no. I don't know how they do it.
At what age is it? Yes.
It's a no-no for me. My children will not have access to internet until if my child begins to enter university, I will give them access, because then they will have their own phone that they will have internet access. But as long as they are not in the university, what people do is this. Let me just make it clear. What people do is this: they have Wi-Fi at home. So a child at 3 connects to the internet to do assignments. That's what I don't want to, because they can connect to Wi-Fi and be doing assignments, and things can pop up. When they have an assignment that they need internet, I'll be there. I'll connect them, and then they'll be done with it, and then I'll disconnect the internet. That's number one. Another thing we can do from the church angle and from family angle, you see, Google is our friend, but Google should not be the friend of children. There are websites that are safe websites for children. One of them is askkids.com. Askkids.com.
Okay.
If you install those in your children's smartphone or whatever, they can Google whatever. Even if they like Google pornography, it will not come up.
Okay.
But if you try that with Google, you understand. So Google should not be the friend of children. So those are things we can do. So from the church angle, we can also, we have teenage groups in church, children's group in church. We can talk to them, talk to the parents.
Sex should be taught in church.
Definitely.
In teenage
Definitely.
ministry.
Definitely.
Okay.
Age appropriate.
Yes, age appropriate.
But do you know what, Pastor Victor? When we talk about, I want to contribute to what you just said now, and we are saying it's a no thing for you to give an internet-enabled phone to your child until he's ready to go to the university. But you know something, that you cannot always be with your child all the time.
Yeah.
So what do you do when you are not with your child and you have access to a phone that is internet-enabled? Because you cannot prevent that. You can't prevent that.
The thing is this. I'm talking about what I do to my children.
Okay.
I have relatives that come around, and then once in a while I see it in my children, they just want to pick up their big sister's phone, and then they are playing. I always tell them, keep that phone. You have your phone. Keep that phone. Because in that phone, they can go to where they are not supposed to go to.
Okay.
I just try to do what I have to do. I know it's not easy, but just like even your child that's in primary 3, you will not follow the child to school.
Definitely.
But you just try your best to do what you have to do at home.
Okay. So Rita talked about one safeguard.
Yes.
Sorry, ma. And he talked about Google and gave an alternative for
software.
Google.
Yeah.
So that's
software.
one.
It's a search engine.
Okay. That's one alternative. That's one safeguard I like,
Yes.
which is like my next question. But you mentioned one. What other safeguards apart from putting up other, search engines like askkids.com, but what other safeguards can parents put in place to make sure that kids don't get to pornography?
Do you know that preventing children's access to phones, and as I was just telling him now, is a very difficult thing to do. It can be easy when they are within your confinement, but when they are out there, you can't actually prevent that.
So
and
what
you don't
about to
know.
suggest that
Okay,
we
for
do?
instance, let me say we are here now. This is not our home. And maybe probably they're outside playing and an adult come in and, okay, let me just keep my phone here. The child has gotten access to it. And probably that adult is someone that is addicted to porn. Am I communicating here? So the other issue again I want to bring up again is this church thing. Apart from giving our children sex education that right from age 3 at home or in the church, we should let them know the consequences of viewing porn. There are consequences, a lot of consequences. Because I believe something that if you tell a child the reason why this thing isn't good for you,
Yeah.
they will not want to go there.
Okay.
Especially when you tell that child right from when the child is small, this is the reason why this thing, you shouldn't go there. It has happened before, and these are the results. If you go there, this is what's going to happen to you. Yeah. Would you want to go through that part? No way, I don't want to go through that part. No. I remember there was a time in my church we organized a summit also for teenagers. It was a training, 1 week training during this their long break. And we brought in pictures of people that were HIV positive and they're actually dying in the hospitals. Real movies, real pictures, and we are showing to them these are consequences of, oh my God, is this how it is? Me, I don't want to, in short, one just wrote, I won't lie, I have a boyfriend, I am not dating again. So, if not to scare them, but to know the consequences of such actions.
Okay. We'll have to go on a break right now. We'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. It's still decisions. Welcome back. It's still decisions, and before we went on the break, we're talking about adolescent syndrome and how to keep teenagers away from porn. Right now, we're going to talk about how to help them, how to help this lady in question. Welcome back, Mark. Welcome back, sir. So the question is, now it has happened already. We talked about preventive measures. Now it has happened. You have a teenager in your hand, the 14-year-old. How do we help this woman get out of the fix she's in? How do we help her get her husband involved? How do we help her solve the boy's problem in a way that doesn't seem like he's the wicked stepmother here? Victor, I think we start with you.
In the first place, we saw that she's gotten the husband involved. Unfortunately, the husband is not buying it.
Yes.
It's not buying it. So it's a difficult one for her now. If the husband bought it and then two of them are looking for a solution to that being. So for that kind of a woman, the husband is not buying it. Put it to God in prayers, and then probably in church or school or whatever, if you want to talk to the youth pastor or so that one way or the other, that my own stepson is involved, the father is not, can you find a way of bringing a lecture to these people so that they will know how this thing can, because what people don't understand is that pornography it brings out a kind of beast in you. That boy does not know that thing is going to destroy him. Yeah. So probably from the church angle or from the school, they can just do like a generic kind of teaching. And then who knows, because the parents are not involved, the boy may actually own up to ask questions of how he can be freed from that particular. Yeah. That's not to say the woman cannot still talk to him one-on-one. Mm-hmm. She can also talk to him one-on-one to educate him that this thing is going to destroy you.
Okay. So education is key.
Yeah, education is key.
From wherever it's coming from, there's a need for education.
Education is key.
Okay, I believe in addition to what Pastor Rita just said, porn and teenagers is not a good combination at all. So when we are growing up, we were not exposed to the internet.
Yes.
And there is something that these images does to someone's brain. Especially teenagers, their brain is still under construction. Once those images stick to the brain, what it does, it helps to reduce the gray matter of their brain. And once the gray matter of their brain reduces, what happens? That pleasure center in the brain has been deformed for life. So because it has been deformed, the brain always want to get more, to feel the pleasure center. And because of that, now you see this craving to want to wash more, to wash more, to wash more. And there is something, if this lady actually want to help her son, you should find out what is triggering it in the first place. Most of our teenagers going into porn and becoming addicted to porn today, it could be out of loneliness. It could be out of this quest for sexual identity. It could be out of depression and you going into porn, to them, because I've had most of them confess to me, to them is like, I am seeking an island somewhere from my sorrow, from what is happening in my environment. So they go to a pleasure island somewhere, knowing that that kind of thing can destroy them. So you can call this teenager and let him know, sweetheart, what you're doing now is going to, if you look at what happened in the movie, in that short drama, you can see that there was a time the mother was bathing and this boy went and was peeping. That particular time he's not himself. So it destroyed psychologically. According to what Pastor Victor just said, it made them to be like a beast. And much more to that also. Apart from destroying their pleasure center, it can even affect them that even when they grow up later as adults, they can't perform well. We are hearing stories of erectile dysfunction in most homes. The woman will not be pregnant and they will think the woman is at fault. If you look so deep into that matter, you can trace this thing back to how far they have come.
Right now, what can this woman do?
So what this woman can actually do, counseling is one. Then there's a wrong approach
counseling, like she's seeking counseling or she's counseling the boy.
She can counsel the boy if she knows all this information, or probably take the boy to a psychologist or a counselor.
Without the father's permission.
Of course, he can do that.
The safest thing to do in this situation is what I said. Use the teaching group, use a neutral group.
Generally, not focusing on the boy.
The woman can get herself in trouble from her husband. The husband is protective. The husband is spoiling the boy. So you can use a neutral forum, but pre-inform that neutral facilitator. Say one of your pupils have this problem. I did not tell you, so that the person can now use that one to see how they can help this particular child. And then, sorry, can I quickly add? It's not only about boys; girls are also involved.
Definitely.
So we need to counsel them.
Definitely.
Just the same way to have negative effect on the boy when he's grown up,
you also have
negative effect on the girl. You
when
grow up to become somebody that cannot be satisfied sexually.
Definitely.
Because you cannot meet the person that can meet all those
wild fantasies.
You were going to say something about that, the wrong way to counseling.
No. What I'm trying to say also is the issue of porn shouldn't be treated lightly. Except she doesn't want to find help for the son. We can actually be treating this issue with trivialities because maybe he's not our own biological son. Because if that son happens to be our biological son, my mother cannot be telling me that I shouldn't do this to my son, and my son's life is going to be on the. You get it? So I will go out all the way to make sure. So if I'm not taking this son as mine, I'm not trying to destroy the boy. So that particular time I can go out of I'm doing this for the boy. Because I believe the man is doing that. You don't even know if the man also is even at this setup. And to him, I beg, what is this? No, that kind of thing. So you cannot just say treat it lightly. And this, why we have talked about doing this in a generic way, the church to call a program and let's address this, is also like using cotton wool and a swab to clean the top of a wound. The wound is still there. It has not healed. It has not healed. This boy has to become, you have to meet as a one-on-one, find out what is triggering it. What is it that you are wanting or you want? If you can actually find what is that causing the trigger, you can cut down, then take that phone from the boy for that particular time. In so many ways, cut him away from internet for a very long time.
So how do we do all of this and the boy doesn't start feeling like you are the enemy?
Let him feel the enemy now. Because a time will come, that is why they call it teenage syndrome.
You see this problem?
Have you not seen a teenager telling the father, your mother, I know you don't like me. You are a very wicked father. You are a very wicked mother.
The truth of the matter is that prevention is better than cure.
I'm telling you.
It's better you prevent it from happening. When it has happened, it's really tough. It's really difficult. Some of those children will need, not some of these children, the person will definitely need deliverance. Because devils have jumped into the person's head. from all those pictures,
process.
person will definitely need deliverance, need to be born
to be
again,
prayed
need to get
for.
saved and be delivered from all those kind of. And then for parents, I said prevention is better than cure. For parents, let's not, like she said, let's not forget our responsibility. Train up a child in the way we should try our best to train the children such that that day when that picture will be viewed, the person will remove eyes and know that this is abomination. I've been well trained, I've been well brought up. Very important. And then again, before we forget, Romans 13, make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust. So parents, adults, let's try our best, because it will shock you to know that some children were exposed to pornography because of their father's carelessness or their mother's carelessness, because of a video that the father bought to play for, to get ready for his wife. Unfortunately, his children. So we must also try our best to make sure that it's not because of us that I'm the one that I exposed my son. You understand? Okay. So parents should try their best.
Mr. Genga, your final words on this matter.
As the issue of this pornography is not just for parents alone. It's not left alone for the church also. Every hands have to be on deck. Every stakeholder, even educators, everybody, their hands have to be on deck to talk about this. Even the media houses, their hands have to be on deck to talk about this on a continuous basis.
But are you one pushing it?
On a continuous basis. As in, this thing is bad and is bad. It's ruining our society, it's destroying lives, and is actually on a very bad note. So if this thing is being done on a regular basis, I hear it today, I hear it tomorrow, continuous hearing, I want to make up my mind to say I am not going near porn. It's not good for me at all. Okay. So teenagers out there, porn is not the thing to play with, except you don't just want your tomorrow to be sweet and better. Thank you.
And as for parents out there, you've heard it all. Take crucial steps. Don't leave it lightly. Porn is not something you should play with at all. Get help if you can't do it alone. If you think you could, get counselors like Mrs. Get pastors like
for spiritual
they would give you all of the help that they can give you. And if you know someone or you are in this kind of situation right now, you could also reach out to us. Their Facebook addresses are on the page right now. Cliff, you can reach out to us via and through our email address or even on Facebook, and we will be there to give you seasoned counselors, professional Christian counselors that will be there to help you. This is how much you can take today on decisions. Till we see again next week. My name is Rachel. Thank you.
I don't know what it is that brought you here today.